Schoonover, and I'm going to be talking about Amy Beach and her Children's Carnival Opus 24, number 4, Pierrot and Pierette. Amy Beach was an American composer. She lived from 1867 to 1944. She was a child piano prodigy. She had synesthesia, which means that she associated certain colors or certain pitches with certain colors. She had little compositional training, only for a year when she was 14. She did a lot of score study, and she translated several treatises on composition. She was forced to give up her piano career by her husband when she married him. He was 20 years older than she was. She married him when she was quite young. When her husband died, she was able to play the piano again, and she toured Europe. Played piano publicly as a public career. Before her husband died, she went by the name of Mrs. H.H.A. Beach. And when her husband died, she kind of rebranded as Amy Beach, so you'll see both names. She was the first American woman to have a symphony and a piano concerto premiered. She was the first American pianist to really succeed in Europe, make a big name on a European tour. She also had fascist political views. She was a fan of Mussolini. I'm going to be talking about Children's Carnival, Opus 24. This is a set of 6 intermediate pieces for children. They're themed after well-known Commedia dell'arte characters, such as Harlequin and Columbine. Beach also wrote a children's album, Opus 36, which has 5 pieces of a similar level if you're looking for more pieces of this intermediate level. Number 4, Pierrot and Pierette, is an RCM grade 5 piece. It is a very beautiful waltz. All of the chords in the left hand are in a closed position. So the hand isn't having to jump like it would for some Chopin waltzes, for example. So this is a good intermediate waltz. The whole section can be practiced with block chords. So this is the chords from the first section. So every bar you could play the same. You could just block all the chords in the left hand, and then you could play the melody on top, and that will practice getting all the notes under your hand, as well as you get to focus on the right hand melody. Sing it out. This is a demonstration of a pedaling exercise that you could do to practice your syncopated pedaling. And so you can see here that you could turn a metronome on in 3/4, and the student every beat 2 could lift their pedal to practice keeping the pedal down as they play the new chord and then changing the pedal later. Eventually, they'll have to be pedaling faster than this, but this could be a helpful exercise to practice the harmony of the block chords, as well as practicing their syncopated pedaling. Voicing is going to be an important part of this piece. Students can practice exaggerating the difference between the left hand and the right hand. So playing the right hand super, super loud and the left hand super, super quiet to practice differentiating the volume between their hands. They can also practice singing the melody as they play in a very musical way, so that they get a feeling of when to breathe, when to take time, stuff like that. The alto line shows up every once in a while, and the student should definitely take note that it doesn't just become, that they think of it as an individual line that doesn't overpower the soprano line, but has integrity. And so the student should sing the alto line while they play. They should also practice leaving out certain voices and redistributing their hands to get the sound that they want. So in this passage, the student could just play the right hand, the soprano line with their right hand. They could use their left hand to play the alto line. And then they can really use their left hand. They can use whatever fingering they want to really shape the line to get how they want it to sound. And then they can try to mimic that sound with just the right hand. On a theoretical side, there are some kind of hidden longer lines in this piece, such as this one that I've identified. This bass line has a long stepwise motion that I think is important for students to think about, because once you kind of notice it, then you really start listening for it. And then it gets them to pay attention and listen to the bass line. And a way to practice listening to this long line is to leave out the middle voices and just practice the counterpoint between the bass and the soprano lines. So I will now perform Pierrot and Pierette.